Everyone wants to become smarter, right? So I did what any other person would and searched up how to become smarter. And there lied the source. No. Reading? And to back this statement up, Ty Lopez once said, books are knowledge. So you're probably thinking, Kodo, since you do self-improvement content, you must read a lot of books, right? I don't. But why don't I read now? Ever since I was a kid, I thought I was so cool by not reading, but the truth was, I struggled with reading. I just couldn't seem to read pages without having to reread to comprehend what I just read. Dumb.
You stupid.
What's worse is, when I attempt to read, I literally sleep. Today is my very first episode of Out of Comfort. If you'd like a further introduction to the series, click up to the top right. Back to the video. It's very anticlimactic as my first video because, well, so many people read on a regular basis. Now I'm lined with this issue of never having experience to enjoy books. And that's what I'm trying to fix today. Before continuing this challenge, I think it's important to understand why reading is important. It is said by the reading agency that adults who read just 30 minutes a week are 20% more likely to report greater life satisfaction. Studies also show a higher level of self-esteem, a greater ability to cope with difficult situations, and greater sleeping patterns. Like, what do I have to lose? These sound all too good just to pass by. But just to clarify, I just want knowledge. That's right. The rules I'll be setting for this challenge are quite simple. 1 non-fictional book and 7 days to complete it. That sounds a lot like the title of an adult film. I've decided that I'll be reading Marcus Aurelius' Meditations, gifted by my housemate Dylan. So, thank you Dylan. Let's get this challenge started, shall we? It is day 1 of reading the book. Today is September 6th on a Wednesday, so I have to finish this book by Wednesday. Day 1 was, well, hard. Well, I tried my normal method of reading, just sitting down, reading on the couch, but it just didn't work. I'm so tired already. I just get so sleepy when I read. It's just stupid because it never worked. But anyway, this is a time lapse of me reading the first time in day 1, and it just looks like a Titanic remake at this point. Like, well, what's going on here? And with my current plan not working, I knew I needed to change something. I need to change the way I approached reading. Maybe it was the location, maybe it was how I read. Maybe I can't read with silence. I realized that I go to gym with music.
Okay.
I study with music, so how about I read with music? But I couldn't play just any music. It had to be the quiet, piano, peaceful, calm, zen kind of music. I also realized that as I was reading isn't about how fast you finish the book. It's about how well you understand the information that's provided to you. Because if you don't understand, what are you reading for? So I tried to slow it down the second time I read in day 1, where I tried to read at night to try to settle down into the mood. Due to my vocabulary not being the greatest, I had to search up a lot of the words just to understand what it meant. Where are you going? Ow! Nope, I'm not filming there. I also found that journaling down my thoughts, writing down some insightful information had helped me read through this joyfully. And I journaled my feelings on my phone and then wrote insightful information on a separate book. It took me a lot longer, but I understood a lot more of the content that way. I'm actually reading properly. This is like crazy.
I felt smarter.
My fibers within my brain cells growing as I'm reading. And with day 1 finishing up, I finished 2 of the books out of the 12. 10 left to go. So I'll see you then. It is day 2 of this reading challenge. Sorry if you can hear. My housemate's just, what do you call it?
What?
Vacuuming. It is currently 9:24, September 7th. Get the reps in. I'm gonna change my environment and read in my dining room where the sun hits, so hopefully it's nice. Alright, this is the setup. I'm gonna see how we go. We're gonna try the same method as last night, so let's hope it goes well. I was already feeling so confident with this. But goddamn runny ass nose, so runny. I feel like I could do this challenge. It's possible, I can do this. I was on my groove and I felt like I could finish this in 1 sitting, but I didn't. I thought with how quickly my progress was from yesterday, I could push through in 1 sitting, but I can only barely scrape by to even read book 3. I was contemplating, why did I do this challenge? But I'm here. I stay committed. I don't lose. But first, before we can get started again, let's get some tea. now I'm ready.
Well, I gave up after I took a
break. And I didn't finish book 4. I was behind. Fuck. I had to catch a train from Brisbane down to Gold Coast, and that takes an hour. I tried to read today on the train, but I finished the 4th book of the chapter, so I caught up from what I had to do yesterday, but now I have to do the work today. Well, fuck. We're gonna have to continue reading. The grind does not stop. It is now 7:56, 8th of September, so we have to read 2 books just to catch up to book 6, because that's where we should be. So, let's get it. Shoot!
hydration.
Time lapse of day 3 starts now. Progress check. I've got 20 pages left. Pretty good.
A few moments later.
I definitely did not read the last few pages at my bed. No, I wouldn't do that. But it's done now, right? It's done. I'm to book 6 now, so finished chapter 5. It's just taking a huge toll because like it's so late. It's not even that late. It's just I'm just lazy. We have 20 pages maybe left still. I lied when I said there's only 20 something pages or 20 pages. There was like 26, 27. And it take a while to read those pages. So those 7 pages mean a lot, okay? Anyways, enough rambling. Keshi's playing right now, and it's just such a vibe. Anyway, focus up, focus up. I need to keep reading. Yes! Ugh. That is book 6 done now. Now I can rest. I can't really, but I'm gonna edit my videos. And that's done for today. Day 3 done. Pulling through. We're doing it, guys. We have caught up. Just got 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 to go. So not that much, right? I'll see you guys tomorrow. Alrighty. I have just finished work. It is now 8:21, September 9th. Let's get down to business. But first, let's get rid of this shirt. I hope that looked good. We'll see you later. The more I did this, the more I got comfortable in doing something that I wasn't really good at. And I realized that the importance of just showing up really does make a change. Putting in the effort and just being there. Though it takes time for me to read books, I'm actually here trying to read, and I think that's what matters. And with that out the way, day 4 was now completed. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I have no work tomorrow, so I have a whole day. Might read outside. 10th of September. So we're gonna go to the lake and read. I'm here now, out onto the lake. It's such a pretty view, so this is gonna be a peaceful read, hopefully. Let's get reading, shall we? Oh my gosh, it's so windy. Who casted this spell? Just finished book 9. I think that was the calmest experience, besides all this wind that's in my face right now. Can't even see my eyes, which is great, but we're gonna go back now. I'm literally vlogging on this fucking huge tripod stick. I look like a dork, but like, I gotta use something to make it stabilize, right? Alright, let's get back into reading, shall we? And with that, book 10 is just done, just like that. I'll see you guys tomorrow for day 6. I got 2 chapters left.
This feels a lot like hell.
With less than 2 days left to go, I was stressed. I was panicking whether I can finish this in time. I try not to let it bother me too much, and I just don't know if I can finish. Yeah, nah, I'm done. I finished. Woo.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer?
Pretty easy. It was so easy. Day 7, here are some things I took away from this challenge. And as you may know, we read the book Meditations, which is on the topic of Stoicism. Stoicism teaches us the things that we can control. Our emotions, our thoughts, and our actions. while accepting the things we cannot control. These are things such as the actions of others and the natural occurring events in the world around us. It's often a practice that many people do practice every day without even us realizing, as there are many modern texts of literature that mentions about aspects of Stoicism. Now for the things I learned from the book. Aurelius' big concepts of time created a huge impact in the way I thought about it. It makes you realize that our time on this earth is just a mere time frame within the whole grand scheme of things. And in knowing that we won't live here forever, it creates an urgency for us to become the best person we can. And it's important to redefine what it means to be a great person, and you can redefine that yourself. And I think that's what makes humans so fragile and so beautiful, because we won't know when we'll die. So instead of being afraid of death, embrace the life you have now. Live presently. Don't try to dwell on the past or the future. Put your almighty power into this very moment. Another thing I learned is there is no specific definition to what a good person is. And people who commit bad acts are not necessarily bad people. Sometimes they just need to be corrected with their actions. And if they can learn from that, then great. But if you can't, that's out of your control. And after that, you don't have to worry about it. There's no anger or suffering that you can get from it. You haven't caused any harm after all. You can accept it and move on. At the end of the day, they're causing harm to themselves. Aurelius also discusses on the topic of pleasure and how we shouldn't seek for pleasure or fame and try to live a meaningful life instead. And to accept the natural courses of life, the ups and the downs, because that's simply what life is. It's an endless tumble of turns. If we take things as face value and we don't see them as good and bad events, we just accept them. Another interesting concept that Aurelius has mentioned is the fact that our mind is the most powerful asset that we have. It can even become a double-edged sword. On one hand, our mind can act bigger than we actually are. And on the other, we can also create problems within our mind. We can get carried away with our emotions and say things we don't mean. Overcomplicate certain situations when things aren't actually that bad. It's all in our head. And finally, the act of kindness can never be taken granted. Everyone can be kind. It doesn't take anything. We're all on this earth, so let's try to coexist as one and try to be nice to each other, to everyone, no matter who they are. Because if we're always kind, we're simply just trying to do our duty at the end of the day. And some general advice for reading. So don't read as quickly as possible as I did with this challenge. I only ever did this challenge because if I set a certain time frame, I kind of have to be forced to do it. And I don't want to lose. That's embarrassing. Who the f loses? Only losers do. But no, seriously, enjoy the read. Make it as leisurely as possible. Put some music on, maybe read it at night, or maybe even read before bed. Reading should be joyful and should create inner peace within you and should be done as a general practice for anyone. And that's coming from someone who hated reading ever since I was a young kid. I encourage everyone here to read because you can become smarter, you can become more knowledgeable, your vocabulary increases, maybe your English marks will go up, and you make your own interpretations to it. And I think that's the most important thing about reading. But my advice for you is, what better way than to just simply start? Pick up a book that you've been given, or maybe a book that you've been trying to read for ages, but you just haven't had that moment. Now is your moment. And read a book that you're genuinely interested in. Don't try to read something and force yourself to read it. That's torture. My goal coming into this wasn't ever just to read a book. It was to actually become a reader. I hope it was a fun, engaging, and insightful video. Thank you for watching. It really means a lot. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Ciao!